Hey guys, it's John from ARTV. It's time for a review of Black Veil Brides 4, aka the self-titled record from none other than Black Veil Brides. I've never had that great of a relationship with the band, but they've always had a few songs on each album that made things worth checking out, at least for me. I feel like they get bogged down though in this sense of epicness, trying to be so grandiose and over the top and super inspirational anthems and that sort of thing. From a writing standpoint for them, it often just does not work. This time around, they have toned things down slightly. I feel like their last album, Wretched and Divine, was just way too over the top. That album just felt silly a lot of the time, honestly, because of how inspirational and big it tried to get. A lot of their songs do sound similar. That's just the way it is with this group, and it often makes me lose interest. The instrumentation is something that I've always appreciated about this band, though. They are very talented in terms of their musicality. I think their guitarist is extremely talented, and the guitar shines once again here on this record. Heart of Fire was released as the single off of this album, and it, along with Devil in the Mirror, two tracks right there that I just feel like sum up Black Veil Brides being stereotypical Black Veil Brides. It's nothing special, the guitar is stale and simple, and there's this forced sense of urgency in the song that just seems like the band is sticking to the formula. They're being totally okay with that. They're not pushing anything at all. It doesn't even really feel like there was that much effort placed into the track. And it's sad because it's clear that they can achieve so much more whenever more thought and attention goes into these songs. Point in case, look at Goodbye Agony and Walk Away, two of my favorite songs on this album, actually in my opinion the two best songs on the record. Goodbye Agony feels like a tortured battle song with some enthralling background vocals that actually do add a ton to this track. The guitar and bass line dare to be different here on this track, and I thought that that was something that was really cool. A lot of the album just kind of plays it safe. I think the drumming does leave a little bit to be desired, and the guitar solo feels a little too familiar, but Biersack actually handles himself quite well on the vocals on this one and does a great job of presenting himself as just kind of this tortured mind that's on the brink of just exasperation. I'm gonna admit that I was really impressed with the track Walk Away. As far as Black Veil Brides goes, this is the band kicking ass and taking names. It proves to me that this band is capable of making an emotionally charged tune that incorporates piano, choir vocals, and a different guitar tone. Of course, it's not the most original thing lyrically, but it's really easy to look past that. It's a slow-burning track with a wide array of sounds flowing in the background, but it grows into something huge. There's a long guitar solo here that reminds me of something straight out of the 80s glam metal scene in a very good way. The second half of this tune is simply epic. Not them attempting to be epic like I would usually say, but them actually succeeding and pulling something off. Right around the 4-minute mark, the drums and the keys start to tease that something important is coming, just as the guitar starts to cut its way into the spotlight here. I'm not afraid to admit that I was blown the fuck away by the rampaging guitar solo that sends this song over the top as the choir sings A Life Without You in the background. I would suggest at least checking out this track, even if you think that this band is just a waste of time, a waste of space, and that they're just a bunch of scene guys. Faithless opens up with a barrage of guitars and drumming that really surprised me. I can't say that I agree with the majority of the lyrics here on this one, but the good thing about music is that you don't really have to in order to still enjoy something. Faithless is one of the most outstanding cuts on the LP. Big hook, great instrumentation, including a rather intense guitar solo. If you're looking for some screamed vocals, you can check the single Heart of Fire or the cringeworthy stolen Omen. These guys just don't sell themselves as genuine a lot of the time. Whenever they attempt to tackle these epic and science fiction themes and mix it with this bland instrumental, it never spells out anything good for Black Veil Brides. Drag Me to the Grave and The Shattered God are two tracks that I'm also not really on board with. Drag Me to the Grave comes out of Walk Away and just kills the flow of the album. It feels like they actually kind of had things rolling, and then Drag Me to the Grave comes in and is just kind of a middle of the road cut that really does nothing for me. I could say the same for The Shattered God, but at the same time that track just kind of feels like a rip of a certain Dragon Force song I've heard guitar-wise, especially the outro on that one. The group gets their point across efficiently enough in World of Sacrifice, but I just don't feel invested in it. I use this metaphor a lot, but it's kind of like a drink that goes down smoothly, and it's pleasant enough, but it really doesn't merit another sip. Sending the album off is Crown of Thorns, packing one of the most venomous choruses on this album. It's got some electrifying riffs and pumping bass lines that bode well for the closer. It does make me wish that the group had been willing to try more interesting things on certain dull parts of the album, but I'll say that Crown of Thorns is probably one of my favorites here on the LP. As usual for a Black Veil Brides album and me, there's a couple of songs that I'm really into, there's a few others that kept me interested, and then there's another handful that do absolutely nothing for me. For me, this album is a 3 out of 5. If you've heard the new Black Veil Brides record, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy my reviews. Of course, if you have any requests for other albums you'd like to see me tackle, you can let me know those in the comments as well. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, my vlog channel. Everything is in the description along with my favorites and least favorites off of this new Black Veil Brides album. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV, Beyond the Reviews.